Welcome to another Quicksilver screencast from the Apple blog. Today I wanted to cover the catalog. We've had a lot of questions in the past, both in our tab community and in comments on previous screencasts about how to use the catalog and tweak it a little bit better so that Quicksilver indexes and makes available through its search interface things that you'd expect to find but maybe aren't seeing. So I'm not going to really demo much as far as Quicksilver workflows go today, but I am going to show you how to get into the guts of your catalog. So invoke Quicksilver and a command comma brings up the preferences window. From there we want to go up here to catalog. And you've seen this before, and undoubtedly in your own explorations of Quicksilver, but also in previous screencasts and things like that. But I'll give it a quick once-over as well. In your left-hand pane, you've got the general categories of items that are cataloged. In the right-hand column, obviously, you've seen this interface a million times, are the broken down things under each of those main item categories. What I'd recommend is clicking on this little show info button down here, and it's got three tabs that you can choose. The source options, which are generally how you'll set the parameters on searching different items in the catalog. Contents, which is what will actually come from that the source option setting, and then just attributes on the each catalog item. So for example, if you go look at my running applications, go to contents, it'll show you all the applications that are indexed currently because they're all running on my system. Go back to source. Modules, there's a few good things in here. Some of these are available because they're plugins that I've installed. Things like web searches, transmit favorites, extra scripts. I'm skipping over some of these. File tags. Look for more on that in a future screencast and articles actually. Expose commands and so on. You can see over here things that are unchecked are obviously not being indexed and therefore not available through Quicksilver's interface. So you can go through here and the more things that you've got checked, the more that has to be indexed and the more occasional time it may take to get a handle on what you're looking for in Quicksilver. So if Quicksilver is getting sluggish for you, I'd definitely recommend, amongst other things, going through your catalog and unchecking items that it has to index all the time. Because if you're not using it, then why use the overhead on your system? I tend to get into a lot and test a lot and try a lot, so most of my stuff is checked, but your mileage may vary. On Quicksilver, the Quicksilver high-level catalog is one of the most important as far as I'm concerned because it gives you tons of really cool options. So make sure you've got pretty much all these things checked: internal commands, internal objects, proxy objects, and so on. Get a lot of good actions and capabilities out of Quicksilver that way. Scripts, system, configuration items that you might want to have access to through Quicksilver. User, this is where we get into the more specific things. And you notice I don't have my documents catalog checked. That's because if we come down here to custom, I've created a custom version of my documents catalog because the initial documents, if we look here, let me see, the initial documents didn't necessarily search as deep as I wanted it to, and I can't edit this, you'll notice that. And so what I wanted to do was create a custom version because I wanted it to search a little deeper, and I've actually since reset it, so that doesn't necessarily matter. But you'll see right now it's searching 2 levels deep into documents because I wanted to be able to see what was not just below the surface, but what might be in a folder within documents. And you can see I've got 297. If I change that to 3 levels deep and I rescan that, we'll see that jumps to 700 even. Wow. So obviously a lot more overhead, a lot more things that it's got to scan through and figure out. So that's where you might want to tweak it. You may not want your whole documents folder going that deep. You may want specific folders within your documents folder to go scanning deeper. And so you can create one of those in here. So maybe I want a file and folder scanner. And I'll create a pictures, and let me do junk. And I want this to be folder contents, because right now, if you'll notice, I don't have any options down here. But if I choose folder contents, I can tell it go 2 levels deep. And if I rescan, there I've got 152 objects or items that are now indexed through that junk folder. We can go to contents and actually see what some of these things are. Maybe you don't want one of those, so you uncheck it and uncheck that. And so you can go through and you can really tweak, and if you scan it again, well, if you scan it again and you uncheck something, it should drop that number, but it's not working that way. Regardless, that's how you can go through and do some spring cleaning on your items. Social bookmarks. This is another question that has popped up. If you come down here under the custom, or really on any of the categories, and choose to do your own custom thing, choose social bookmarks, it'll take you to the custom catalog. From social bookmarks, it'll ask you, right now it only supports Magnolia and Delicious. Select the one you want, put your name and password in. If you want to also be able to view the tags, go ahead and include the tags, and it'll get set up. I don't really want this because I've already got mine set up, but mine looks like, if we go to the contents, and then it just sees all of your social bookmark items. Makes it really handy because they're available right through the Quicksilver interface, and you don't have to go to a web page, and you can, for example, let's do that didn't work. Oh, pardon me. You actually can just search for the website name. So let's see, Virals. So there you go. So it comes up there because it was indexed from my Delicious bookmarks. I can see it immediately. And then if you, what I did right there was did a right arrow, and then it also gave me options on what I wanted to do to go see the that web page. But that's a different trick for a different day. So that's pretty much tweaking your catalog. Sorry if this has been a little scatterbrained. It's late and this wasn't extremely planned out, but I wanted to get a screencast out this week. So hopefully that helps you get a little better handle on the items that you're indexing in Quicksilver. If it slows down a lot, I definitely suggest coming in here and finding the items that you're not using on a regular basis or ever, because the fewer things that you have to let Quicksilver scan through and index every 10 minutes or hour, whatever the interval is that you have set, the longer it's going to take to do that stuff. So create custom file and folder scanners. You can also get in, based on the plugins you have set up, you can get into some of these other things as well. Play around with it, see what you can tweak, see what your source options are on each of the custom catalogs that you create, and you'll start getting the exact results that you want. As always, leave questions and comments below in the comments section, and I'll do my best to answer those for you.